Journey with Judy. Honest, open, transparent. It's hot.
There's no such thing as perfect people. There's no such thing as a perfect life. So come as you are, broken and scarred. Lift up your heart and be amazed and be changed by a perfect God.
Good morning. Thanks for choosing to journey with Judy this morning. And I'm just a little bit choked up as I reflect on what the last week has been without my family. My son is officially off at college, and my husband and 2 out of my 4 children are serving in El Salvador on a mission trip. So I ask for God's blessing upon them, that it would be a life-changing experience for all of them, and they would continue to witness and glorify God in everything they're doing. But Dave asked me this morning how I'm digging the silence in my house. And you know, something about silence, if you're not used to it, it can be deafening. And my daughter Campbell, she's a perpetual talker. So it's really not much quieter. It's just very different. And I'm trying to be mindful of enjoying the time with Campbell and my folks who are in from out of town. And my kids gave me a good reason to not miss them just before they left. We had one of those situations where they were dissing me. Dave, they are always dissing their mother. And in this case, it had to do with their social media. Here's the deal, friends. I am a bit naive in every area of my life, but super naive when it comes to social media. Not to its impact, not to its benefits or blessings, but, you know, like the basic how-tos, Dave, and the protocol and what's politically correct. And I admit to you that when it comes to my kids' friends, when I actually meet them, I think about their tweets, and most of them are known to me by their posts. Long before they ever encounter me and say, "Hi, Mrs. Hehr, I'm so-and-so." But the thing about social media is, honestly, it is the way that I learn in many cases, like what's going on inside my kid's heart. Because I'll read one of their posts or tweets, and it fosters a reason for me to go to them and ask them, what was that really about? And of course, I'm never right, Dave. Whatever I think it's about, it's never about that. And this, as we know, is always about that. But the standard reply from all of them is, "You are such a creeper." So now, because of this most recent instance, I am officially labeled creeper status. I got a new phone. It's a smartphone. P.S. Dumb people should not have smartphones because I don't know how to work them. So I said to my kids, I want you guys to set up my phone so I can just instantly creep at any point in time without having to log in with passwords and usernames to all of your accounts. Just the 3 of them. Carter, Chandler, and Kennedy. Okay, well, Chandler and Kennedy were explaining to me that I don't know how that works, and you can't just do that. You have to have your own account. So long story short, next thing you know, on my phone are all these little icons, Dave. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, okay? So I'm super excited. So I'm, in a dull moment when I have nothing else to do, and probably more often than I should, I was pushing those buttons, and as I pushed Instagram, these things would come up, and they would be pictures of my kids, obviously what they're posting and tweeting and Facebooking about. And then, as curiosity would have it, I wanted to, based on the comments from other people, Dave, do you ever look at other people's stuff? Sure. Okay, is that normal? Yeah. Okay, well, here's the deal. It is my job to know what my kids are doing and what their friends are posting, and so I am known for being a creeper. So the other day, Chandler was in the weight room at football lifting camp, and one of his friends said, "Hey, Chan, does your mom have a Twitter account?" And Chandler said, or Instagram, and Chan said, "I don't know why." And he said, "Well, because someone named Jummy Knob was liking my pictures from weeks and weeks ago. And when I looked at Jummy Knob, the only people Jummy Knob is following are Chandler, Kennedy, and Carter Hehr." So Chandler obviously was embarrassed, wanted to crawl in a hole and die, because the reality was I've totally violated all of his friends' privacies now. And here's the deal. Like, I love this kid who said this. I love all of their friends. A lot of times when I'm looking at their stuff, Dave, I end up praying for them. Because here's why I'm Jummy Knob, because my nickname is Jummy by my kids. Long story, but it's Jummy. They all call me Jummy. And in unison, all my kids, many times when I say or do something, tell me I am a knob. So one of my children, I won't tell you who, actually set me up with an account called Jummy Knob. So I'm here to tell you that if Jummy Knob likes any of your things, if Jummy Knob accidentally friend requests you on behalf of my children, I'm really sorry, because I am not good when it comes to social media and how to work it. However, I have to say before we go to the break, I am not embarrassed and I am not ashamed of the diligence and the pursuit in which I attempt to see what's going on in my kids' lives and the people they spend time with, whether that's right or wrong or a violation of privacy. It's a get to because I'm their mom, Jummy, Knob. And Chan said, oh, by the way, Mom, you have no followers. Dave, does that matter? I guess if you have a lot of followers, that makes it a big deal. And I'm pretty sure that Jesus had no followers. So let's talk today about what does it mean to follow someone? And why does it matter if you follow someone? And I think Jesus said we only need 3, the Father, the Spirit, and me. Let's go to the break. You are journeying with Judy this morning right here on Lake 96. Well, excuse me, you are journeying with Jummy Knob. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back. Thanks for journeying with Jummy Knob as we follow the leader. Dave, do you remember that game when you were a kid? Maybe you still play it. Follow the leader. Do you remember what you have to do? You would have to do exactly what they did, and you would have to say exactly what they said, right? That's what following means. Okay, but the reality is that following by definition, okay, is to go after in pursuit of, to move or travel behind in an attempt to observe or monitor. So clearly I am following my children, Dave. It could also be called a stalking from a court-approved distance. So the thing about following and relating this whole thing to social media is I am wondering why we have once again allowed the word follow to be so dumbed down, okay? Because when it comes to anything as far as social media, Dave, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I picked the top 3 to talk about this morning and related to Jesus and following him. It is the fastest way that we can stay close to everything that we care about. That's what Twitter's tagline is. And it says, follow me. Actually, all 3 of them present themselves with the invitation of follow me. Follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook. Okay, friends, here's my question this morning. Why is it that Justin Bieber has 41 million followers? 41 million followers. And if I'm correct, that is about the state of California. The population of California. Okay, Lady Gaga and Katy Perry are second with 39 million. And our president of the United States of America, has 33 million followers on Twitter. So are we pursuing and going after, monitoring, and walking behind those people in pursuit of their behavior? Are we, Dave? Because I think that's really sad. How about Instagram? Instagram, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's the ability to share photos and videos through a social media network. And you can actually, Dave, I love this about Instagram, I think other people do too, is you can transform it through a filter and you can totally change the way it looks and the way it feels. The whole concept is you are trying to get people to follow you on Instagram. That's their tagline. Okay, well, all of you seem to be, or many of you seem to be digging Kim Kardashian. Justin Bieber lost to her. Almost 3.7 million of you are following Kim Kardashian. Justin Bieber in second place, and Kendall Jenner. I'm wondering where Jesus is in this spectrum, Dave. He's not in the top 10, and that's exactly what I was Googling. Okay, how about Facebook, friends? Some of you might know more about social media than me, but, when it comes to Facebook, you like a page. And if you like a page, if you like it, that means it's a fan page. That's a little different than a friend page. I, Jummy, Knob, Judy, Hehr, Journey with Judy, have a fan page, and that means I have followers. So in all 3 of these instances, it's all about this popularity contest, okay? Now, just to switch it up, I even did businesses that have the most followers. Who do you think it is, Dave? The business that has the most follower in the country. Google. No, Coca-Cola number 1 with 47.6 million. Disney number 2 and Converse number 3. I was happy to see Nutella was number 15. Do you love Nutella? You need to get Nutella. I'm going to bring it in next Sunday for you, and we're going to share it on anything. You could put it on this pen or on this Post-it note, and it would taste delicious. Whole nother show. Anyway, here's the gig. I even Googled if Jesus had a Twitter, an Instagram, or a Facebook, and friends, you'll be happy to know that if you are going to follow Justin Bieber, Kim Kardashian, or the Coca-Cola Company, you can follow Jesus as well. But he's in a lame, 500th place with only 500,000 Twitter followers, and he only has 8,000 Facebook followers, Dave. Is that the saddest thing ever? Okay, here's the sad thing, friends, is if you're liking these things and you're liking any of these people on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, the odds are you're probably recommending it to somebody else, right? You're probably talking about it outside the context of your social media. And even though the total benefit is it allows you to connect and share with other people, the fact is all these connections are providing information about you to another person, okay? So, back to the whole following example. What does it mean to follow somebody? It means to pursue them. It means to go after, to travel behind them. We have allowed following people on Facebook to be not following them at all, because I'm pretty sure in some of these instances, especially Justin Bieber, Dave, you just told me what happened to him. He was not setting a Christ-like example, I don't think, going to the bathroom in that bucket in the restaurant. Very, very lame. Why would you, friends, follow Justin Bieber, Kim Kardashian, or the Coca-Cola Company if you're not going to follow Jesus? Because following means I'm going to go where you go. I'm going to stay where you stay. I'm going to move when you move, because I'm going to follow you. Okay, the other thing I learned when I was doing this research on social media is people have to be allowed to follow you, Dave. Do you know that? You have to be invited to be able to follow somebody. And so I'm digging the fact that Jesus' guest list is so not like theirs. Everybody can follow Jesus. Dave, do you have an A list and a B list when you have a party? Yeah, doesn't everybody have this is, if I can expand it or based on responses, I'm going to open it up to more people. Okay, well, when it comes to Jesus, his A list is all the people are invited. And that whole expression about guests of guests should not bring guests, Jesus disagrees 100%. We're listening to Journey with Judy right here on Lake 96.1. We'll be back after the break to tell you all the reasons why you should follow Jesus. And thank you to Dr. Bob from Youngquist Orthodontics and Greg Cunis at the Cunis Country Auto Group for sponsoring Journey with Jummy Knob. Judy. We'll be back.
Where you go, I go. Where you stay, I stay. When you move, I move. I will follow you. Who you love, I love. How you serve, I serve. This life I lose, I will follow you. I will follow you.
All right, so Chris Tomlin just echoed what it means to follow. You know, we follow so many things so willingly in life. We follow directions and recipes. We follow passions in social media. But when we follow directions, those are just suggestions. When we follow recipes, they can be altered, Dave, and they still turn out good, don't they? They can. When we follow passions, we end up endless and empty. And when we follow social media, Dave, sometimes I think that might just be a waste of time, right? It could be entertaining at times. However, there is only one way that we can follow Jesus. And when it comes to following, I did this whole research on social media. And of course, I make everything about God, Dave. For some reason, I have the ability, and I'll consider it a gift. My kids consider it a curse, to be able to do that. And there's this whole segment on the internet about why you aren't getting any followers. And I'm pretty convinced that Jesus can relate to why he's not getting any followers. Because here's the deal is we're unwilling to invest. We're unwilling to invest the time to get to know and learn about our followers. We have an incomplete profile. Obviously, if you're going to follow somebody, you want to know more about them, who they are and what they're doing. He's got some inconsistent followers just like you on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, because they're just random people who don't even know why they're following or how they even started to follow. And if you don't respond to them, guess what? They're bailing on you, Dave. You can just not follow somebody on any given moment. I'm pretty sure Jesus can relate to that. And number 4, the final reason why you aren't getting any followers, and Jesus probably didn't have any either, because there has to be a value associated with what it is that you're offering them. There has to be an added value, because see, if it isn't interesting and it isn't worth your while, then guess what? You're not going to bother. So why is it that Jesus offers all of those things? and he still can't get more than 8,000 people on a random Facebook page to follow him. He can't get the whole state or population of California to follow him so willingly, to be so in pursuit of him, his words, his ways, his actions. How come it's so difficult to willingly move or travel behind him as we observe and monitor his behavior? When we're so willing to follow a little boy, and he is a little boy who goes to the bathroom in a bucket in a restaurant, or Kim Kardashian. And by the way, my daughter loves Kim Kardashian. She wants to be Kim Kardashian. Isn't that a very sad aspiration for my daughter, Kennedy? It is such a sad aspiration. Okay, how about this? There are 10 reasons to follow Jesus. Dave, do you watch David Letterman? You know how he does the top 10? But doesn't everybody know that he does the top 10? Okay, well, I'm totally copying David Letterman, and I am telling you the number 10 reason is he's giving out free stuff. Doesn't he say, ask and you shall receive, seek him first and all else will be given to you? Okay, another reason is because your family and friends do it. There's something about having faith passed on to you because it's definitely a gift that's been given. But a gift, Dave, oh, you like that I'm always talking to you? That's because you're the only person I can see. That's why I get the name Jummy Knob. Do you get it? Okay, so if you're getting a gift, you have to receive it. The number 8 reason to follow Jesus is guilt. Good old Catholic guilt. How about that? I don't really want to, but I'm going to do it anyway. Number 7, heaven, yes. Hell, no. Hell is a big motivator to follow Jesus. Although some of the people that we're clearly following on our social media are going there, Dave. We might see them there. Some of us might see them there. Okay, number 6, he will make you nicer. In my home, I have known as mean and crabby, a witch with a bee. You can't change you, but he can and he will. Number 5, life has meaning and purpose when you're following the man. Because like I say to my boys, no desire is ever finally and fully satisfied. Number 4, he can set you free. Dave, do you know that you do not have to be behind bars to be in prison? That is the story of my life. As a matter of fact, we were playing Monopoly the other day, Campbell and I ended up in jail. It seemed like every other role. And that was just synonymous of the way I have totally lived in my life, in bondage. What does it mean to follow him? In pursuit of, in order to observe or monitor. Number 3 reason, he's the GPS you need. He leads, he guides, he protects, and he provides. Without him, I can do nothing. But with him, all things are possible. And everyone loves this one. Number 2, true love. Dave, easiest thing to do is fall in love. Hardest thing to do is stay in love. True that. And in my life, I've been looking for love in all the wrong places. And I know now that a heart remains restless until it rests in him. The number 1 reason that you, the listeners of Lake 96.1, should be following Jesus is because he deserves it. Unequivocally, he deserves your love, your devotion, your desire to follow, to go after, in pursuit of. So just someday, you might be looking like him, you might be acting like him, and you just might be him to this world who so desperately needs a whole lot of little Jesuses. And see, I think we're mistaken because Jesus says, follow me. And people think it's about doing what he says, but it's about doing what he does. Religion says change and you can follow us. Jesus says, join us and you will change. He says, follow me, it's free. But eventually it'll end up costing you something. And when you pay the price, you will find it's a great deal. We follow until it gets hard. And then we back out. Or we buckle down and keep following. We carry our cross, whatever the cost. And see, if we're really following him, we are doing what he did. And we are leveraging our authority for the benefit of other people. See, because when we love him, we hate sin. We pray and apply, and we can't deny that we'll turn from desires that aren't from him, and in the victory we'll always win. We live by faith and not by sight. And I am digging that. You are listening to Journey with Judy right here on Lake 96.1. So follow me to the break. We'll be back in just a minute to wrap it up.
You don't know how you met me, you don't know why you can't turn around and say goodbye. All you know is when I'm with you, I make you free and swim through your veins like a fish in the sea. I'm singing, follow me, everything is alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night. And if you want to leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me. I'm not worried.
Okay, so there's Jummy Knob's dumbed down version of what it means to follow you. You want to see a real example of how to follow him, you have got to get tickets to see the Witnesses at the Fireside Theater. There's only a 1-week performance, 7 shows only. And you will be able to see how Peter and Paul did what he did. They went where he went. They stayed where he stayed. And the entire world was changed because they chose to follow him, to carry their cross, whatever the cost. I had the privilege of going to the Fireside Theater for the first time last year to see The Rock and the Rabbi, and this is actually part 2 of that series, and it is absolutely phenomenal. Tickets are available at thefiresidetheater.com. Thank you for journeying with Jummy the Knob this morning, and I pray that this week you go where he goes, that you stay where he stays, and when he tells you to move, you move. Stay tuned. Dave and Nancy, those are my friends. Is that who's next on Life Matters? Yeah. They are next on Life Matters right here on Lake 96.1. In the meantime, till next week, next Sunday, keep it hot, honest, open, and transparent. Peace out.